Modifying symbol instance sets. So if we create a set, remember we select our symbol in the symbols panel, and I may use a symbol sprayer tool to click and drag. And so now I have a set, an instance set of this specific symbol. And if I wanted to, I would deselect and click the second symbol here, again back to my sprayer, and create another set. So if I have the existing set highlighted, I can combine my symbols as well. So looking at this, I have two different sets, and I may want to do some modifications to them. So what we have are 8 symbol, or we call them symbolism tools, that can help modify our instances or instance sets. And it's most often used with an instance set. But what I can do is some really kind of fun things, but remember, the goal here is not to create realistic, I guess maybe I should say don't have realistic expectations, because these are random. These instance sets are random, and these tools are random as well. So know that you don't have fine control over them, but they can do some really fun, cool things. So I'm going to have my set selected here. Oops, and I landed. Let's go ahead and drag this or tear this off. So now I have them. I know you missed the words, but we can look at our tool tips here. So I'm going to use my selection tool actually to select this set. And I can drag this. Remember, this acts as though it's one object, so I can do some fun things just with my transformations on a set. But let's look at these fun tools. So the sprayer, we know, places those symbol instances on the artboard. Our shifter tool, if I select that, what this will do is move or change the stacking order in this set. So when I do, and you can see I just kind of click and drag, and you see how things move around. So this will bring some of them in a different stacking order, kind of just shift things around. See how they're moving around. That's the shifter tool. Think of them as shifting. The next tool is the scruncher. And this does exactly what you would think it would do. It scrunches them or pulls those instances together. You can see how it's moving them together. Which is really kind of fun. Now, if I wanted to do a reversal, my Alt key is the magic key for that. So this scruncher tool will do a reverse if I hold the Alt key down. Alt key not down moves them close. And you see I have to be over top of the instances. If I click in the middle of nowhere, nothing's going to move. I have to kind of drag it around. Alt key spreads them apart. Whoop, that went really fast. Let's move them back together. There we go. So the scruncher tool moves them closer. Alt is the reversal of it. The next option is the sizer tool, and that, again, just like it sounds, it will increase or decrease the size. So with it normal, I can increase the size of some of these flowers. Holding down that Alt key decreases the size, so I can get some more contrast and some more drama here. Of course, making this a little visually pleasing with a little bit of a contrast. Maybe we want to make this guy really big. Okay, the next tool is the spinner tool. Again, it's going to spin it or rotate it. So you can see that I can click and drag, and I kind of think of, like, you know, if you have a little school of fish, they all kind of go in the same direction. And I just click whatever way I want. You can see my arrows appear that allow me to sort of steer it. Now, if I have an instance that's kind of by itself, easy to control. When you got a grouping, you're going to get multiple arrows here. Okay. The next tool is the stainer tool, and this tool will change the color to the current fill color. So if we define a fill color here, let's do something dramatic like a blue. And now we're going to go to the stainer tool. Look at that. Now if I click little, it's going to you know, not do full opacity, so to speak, on that. But if I click and hold it down, it's going to sure go right to that color. So little tiny click versus big click, you can get some fun little staining happening. So again, it goes to that current fill color. The next is the screener tool, and the screener tool will increase or decrease the transparency. So again, I could click to make them be transparent or reduce that opacity. If I hold the Alt key down, it's going to bring it back. So I'm not losing the detail. I can get my full opacity back if I want. So Alt key will add to the opacity. Without the Alt key, I reduce the opacity, thus increasing the transparency. And the last one will apply a style. So it looks at the current graphic style. And remember, if you don't remember what panel that is, let's go ahead and open it, Graphic Styles. So I have some interesting styles here. We'll just use the default here. Let's do the bevel effect. Let's see what happens there. So this will apply the selected style in my styles, my graphic styles panel. So if we click here, there you go. You can kind of see that this bevel effect, and this one's going to be memory intensive. You can see it just gives you a little bit of a delay before you see the results. So don't click and hold that mouse down for a long time. You know, give it a chance. You can always click again to go a little bit more intense with that effect. So those are the symbolism tools. They're a lot of fun. Remember that precision is an unrealistic goal here, so it's random. And once I've got this, you know, I could now choose to, oops, let's select it here. Under the object menu, I can choose to expand this. We'll go ahead and expand it. Probably is group, so let's ungroup it. I use my selection tool, click out in the middle of nowhere. Now I can select each one of these and do some fine movements and control, and you know, say, wow, this one really kind of tilted too much. Let's get her back into where it should be. So I can fine control these after the fact and get them where I want them to be. So a lot of fun. Understanding how you can maybe use tools in specific ways, and also being able to go back and tweak them and alter them to save yourself time. So those are the symbolism tools in Illustrator.